What if I told you that love in R&B doesn't always follow the usual rules? Some of the biggest R&B stars have found lasting love with older women, proving that age doesn't matter when it comes to the heart. From Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston to Usher and Tameka Foster, these artists have been in relationships that go against expectations. Here are 20 R&B stars who married older women, showing that love has no limits. Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston's relationship was one of the most talked about in music. They met in 1989 at the Soul Train Music Awards when both were at the peak of their careers. Whitney, 25, was already a global superstar, while Bobby, 20, had just risen to fame with his album Don't Be Cruel. Though Whitney was seen as a pop princess and Bobby as R&B's bad boy, they connected deeply. Whitney later said they had similar backgrounds. She grew up in Newark, New Jersey, while Bobby was from a rough neighborhood in Boston. Their relationship surprised many. Whitney was older, and at first she turned down Bobby's proposal, saying marriage wasn't her plan. But love won in the end, and they married on July 18, 1992, in a grand wedding at Whitney's home in New Jersey. Many questioned if they were a good match, but Whitney defended their love, saying, "When you love, you love." At first, both thrived. Months after their wedding, Whitney released the Bodyguard soundtrack, which became one of the best-selling albums ever. Her song, I Will Always Love You, won 3 Grammy Awards. Bobby, however, released less music, and his career slowed down. Behind the scenes, their marriage had serious problems. Rumors of substance use started early. Bobby later claimed he was shocked to learn Whitney used substances on their wedding day. Over time, both struggled with addiction. In a 2002 interview, Whitney denied using, but many doubted her. Their troubles became public, especially on their 2005 reality show, Being Bobby Brown. There were also reports of cheating and domestic issues. In 2006, after years of problems, they divorced. Whitney got full custody of their daughter, Bobby Christina. Sadly, Whitney died in 2012 at 48 from an accidental drowning linked to substance use. 3 years later, Bobby Christina died in a similar way at just 22. Marvin Gaye and Anna Gordy. Marvin Gaye met Anna Gordy in 1959 when he was a young singer with Harvey and the New Moon Glows. Anna was already working in the music industry and had co-founded Anna Records, which helped shape Motown. Despite their age difference, they fell in love. Marvin later said she inspired some of his early hits, including Pride and Joy and Stubborn Kind of Fellow. He even called Pride and Joy a love song for her. After 3 years together, they married in June 1963. Anna wasn't just a music producer, she was also a songwriter. She helped write Motown hits like Baby, I'm For Real by the Originals, and worked on Marvin's famous What's Going On album. Meanwhile, Marvin became one of Motown's biggest stars, known for mixing deep messages with soulful music. His 1971 album, What's Going On, is now considered a classic. But their marriage had problems. They argued a lot, and Marvin's affairs made things worse. In 1966, they adopted a son, Marvin Pence Gaye III, though it was later revealed he was actually Anna's niece's child. By the early 1970s, their relationship was falling apart. Marvin started seeing Janice Hunter, with whom he had 2 children. In 1975, Anna filed for divorce and asked for $1 million. Since Marvin had money troubles, he agreed to pay her through royalties from his next album. This led to Here, My Dear, 1978, an album about their failed marriage. At first, it didn't sell well, but later people saw it as one of his most personal works. Despite everything, Marvin and Anna stayed close in the 1980s. She supported his comeback and even attended the 1983 Grammys when he won for Sexual Healing. In 1984, when Marvin was shot and killed by his father, Anna was heartbroken. She never remarried and stayed connected to his legacy until her death in 2014. Usher and Tameka Foster. Usher and Tameka Foster's love story began when she worked as his stylist. At the time, Usher was already a famous R&B singer with hits like Yeah and Burn, while Tameka was a successful stylist in the entertainment industry. What started as a professional relationship soon turned into something more. They got married on August 3, 2007, in a small ceremony in Atlanta, followed by a bigger celebration later. However, their relationship faced challenges from the start. Usher's mother didn't approve and even skipped the wedding, which created tension. Still, Usher stood by Tameka and dismissed rumors about problems in their marriage. As Usher continued his music career, he released Here I Stand in 2008, an album inspired by his life as a husband and father. Meanwhile, Tameka focused on her styling career while raising their two sons, Usher 5 and Naveed. But over time, their marriage struggled. Tameka later said people judged her for her past and age, making things harder. She also felt unsupported by those around Usher. Trust issues and lifestyle differences only added to the strain. In a 2012 interview, Usher admitted he felt lost near the end of their relationship. He filed for divorce in June 2009, and it was finalized later that year. After the divorce, they battled over custody, and in 2012, Usher was granted primary custody, which stirred public debate. Despite their ups and downs, they have shared moments of mutual respect. Usher's career continued to thrive, including a 2024 Super Bowl performance, while Tameka remained active as a stylist and mother, sharing her journey along the way. Robin Thicke and Paula Patton. Robin Thicke and Paula Patton's story began long before they became famous. They met as teenagers at an under-21 nightclub in Los Angeles when Patton was 15 and Thicke was 14. Their bond grew over time, and they started dating in 1993. Thicke, whose father was actor Alan Thicke, once sang Jodeci's Forever My Lady to Patton, a moment she later called unforgettable. As they built their relationship, Patton pursued acting, while Thicke focused on music. Thicke's music career took off in the 2000s with his mix of R&B and soul. His debut album, A Beautiful World, 2003, featured Patton on the cover and included songs inspired by her. His big breakthrough came with Blurred Lines, 2013, a global hit despite controversy over its lyrics and video. The song topped the charts and earned Grammy nominations, making Thicke a pop star. Meanwhile, Patton became a successful actress, starring in films like Precious, 2009, and Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol, 2011. Their marriage was closely tied to their careers. Patton appeared in Thicke's music videos, including Lost Without You and Love After War, as both his muse and creative partner. Thicke often said she inspired much of his music. However, their relationship faced challenges. Allegations of infidelity, substance issues, and emotional strain surfaced in later years. In 2014, Patton filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. After the divorce, Thicke released the album Paula, 2014, as a public plea to win her back, but it was unsuccessful. Patton focused on co-parenting their son Julian while continuing her acting career. Over time, they worked to improve communication and create a stable home for Julian, eventually expressing mutual respect for each other despite their difficult split. Halle Berry and Van Hunt. The Oscar-winning actress and Grammy-winning musician started dating in 2020, beginning a new chapter in their lives after past relationship struggles. Halle Berry, 6 years older than Van Hunt, has said their bond changed her view on love and life. Hunt has credited Berry with improving every part of his life. Berry's career spans decades, with standout roles in Monsters Ball, X-Men, and John Wick. Chapter 3. She has broken barriers for black actresses in Hollywood but has faced challenges in her personal life, including divorces from David Justice, Eric Benet, and Olivier Martinez. She has 2 children, Nala and Maceo. Berry admitted she was once careless in love, but became more intentional after meeting Hunt. Van Hunt is a talented musician known for blending funk, rock, and R&B. His debut album in 2004 brought him acclaim, and he won a Grammy in 2007 for Family Affair. Though not as famous as Berry's, Hunt's music is deeply admired. The couple met during the pandemic through Hunt's brother. They spent months talking on the phone before meeting in person, allowing them to connect on a deep emotional level. Berry called it life-changing, saying she fell in love with Hunt's mind before anything else. Hunt has said Berry also influenced his parenting. Berry confirmed their relationship in September 2020 by posting a photo wearing a shirt with Hunt's name. Since then, they've shared loving moments online, like Hunt's heartfelt birthday poem for Berry in 2024. Their relationship is built on love, respect, and inspiration. Berry has said Hunt makes her feel limitless, while Hunt credits their bond with boosting his creativity and personal growth. Together, they show how love can be uplifting. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey's love story was a whirlwind romance that captivated fans. They first met in 2005 at the Teen Choice Awards, but it wasn't until 2008 that their relationship took off. Cannon starred as Carey's love interest in her Bye Bye music video, and within weeks, the two shocked the world by getting married in a private ceremony in the Bahamas after just 6 weeks of dating. Carey called Cannon her soulmate while he went all out to prove his love, renting out the Four Seasons and gifting her a book of love notes for their anniversary. At the time, Mariah Carey was already a music legend. With a 5-octave vocal range and smash hits like Fantasy, We Belong Together, and Vision of Love, she was one of the best-selling artists ever. Meanwhile, Nick Cannon was making his mark as a comedian, rapper, and TV host. His 2003 debut album, Nick Cannon, featured the hit single Gigolo with R. Kelly, which peaked at number 9 on the Billboard Hot Rap Songs chart. While his music career was notable, he gained more fame through his roles in Wild 'N Out and America's Got Talent. Their marriage was full of over-the-top romantic gestures. They renewed their vows at Disneyland in 2010, and a year later welcomed twins Moroccan and Monroe, born on their 3rd wedding anniversary. The couple called them Dem Babies and frequently shared their family moments with fans. However, behind the scenes, their relationship faced challenges. By 2014, rumors swirled about tensions, largely due to Cannon's busy career and personal differences. While some speculated about infidelity, Cannon denied it, later explaining that they simply stopped growing together as a couple. Carey echoed this in her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, saying their split was a result of egos and emotions, but emphasizing their dedication to co-parenting. Their divorce was finalized in 2016, but they have remained close for the sake of their twins. Cannon has repeatedly expressed his admiration for Carey, calling her a gift from God and admitting she's still the love of his life. Carey, in turn, has praised him as a dedicated father. Post-divorce, both continued thriving. Carey solidified her status as the Queen of Christmas with All I Want for Christmas Is You, while Cannon expanded his TV empire with The Masked Singer and continued his comedy and music ventures. Despite their split, their bond and co-parenting dynamic remained strong. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra. Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra's love story started with a bold step. In September 2016, Jonas sent Chopra a message on Twitter after hearing about her from friends. They met in person at the Vanity Fair Oscars after-party in 2017, where Jonas dramatically got down on one knee and said, "You're real. Where have you been all my life?" Their bond was strong, but they stayed friends until the 2018 Met Gala, where they walked the red carpet together in matching outfits, and sparks flew again. Chopra is a Bollywood star who found success in Hollywood with Quantico and Baywatch. She is also a UNICEF Goodwill Ambassador and entrepreneur, working to break barriers for South Asians. Jonas became famous with the Jonas Brothers before launching a solo career with hits like Jealous. He later reunited with his brothers for the 2019 album Happiness Begins and acted in movies like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. Their romance moved fast in 2018. Jonas proposed during Chopra's birthday trip to Crete in July. He even shut down a Tiffany store to pick the perfect ring. Chopra was so shocked, she stayed silent before saying yes. They had a traditional Indian Roka ceremony in Mumbai, followed by a grand wedding blending Christian and Hindu traditions. Since marrying in December 2018, they have built a happy life together. In January 2022, they welcomed their daughter, Malti Marie, via surrogacy. They often share their love on social media, supporting each other's dreams. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani. Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani met in 2014 as coaches on The Voice. At the time, both were going through divorces. Shelton was separating from Miranda Lambert, and Stefani was ending her marriage to Gavin Rossdale. Their shared heartbreak brought them closer, and by late 2015, their friendship had turned into romance. Shelton later said Stefani saved his life during this difficult time. Stefani first became famous as the lead singer of No Doubt, with hits like Don't Speak and Just a Girl. Her solo career brought even more success with songs like Hollaback Girl and The Sweet Escape. She is also known for her unique style and fashion brand LAMB. Shelton, on the other hand, is one of country music's biggest stars. With hits like God's Country and Honeybee, he has won multiple awards. His role as a coach on The Voice made him a household name. Fans love their relationship because of their different backgrounds. Stefani has punk rock roots, while Shelton has a country charm. Despite this, they connected through music and family values. They began collaborating on songs like Go Ahead and Break My Heart in 2016, and later released duets like Nobody But You and Happy Anywhere in 2020. Shelton proposed in October 2020 at his ranch in Oklahoma. Stefani later said the proposal came at the perfect time, as she had started feeling unsure about their future. They married in July 2021 in an intimate ceremony officiated by Carson Daly. Since then, they have balanced busy careers with family life. Shelton left The Voice in 2023 to focus on family, while Stefani continues her music career. They both say their love brought them healing and happiness after difficult divorces. Tupac Shakur and Madonna. Tupac Shakur was known for his powerful lyrics and activism. His music often spoke about racism, poverty, and social justice. Songs like Changes and Keep Your Head Up showed his ability to mix deep emotions with bold statements. Madonna, on the other hand, was already a global pop icon by the 1990s. With hits like a Prayer and Vogue, she became one of the most influential artists in history. Despite their different musical styles, their relationship reflected their shared rebellious nature. They reportedly started dating in 1993 after actress Rosie Perez introduced them at the Soul Train Music Awards. Perez later shared that Tupac had gone with her as a friend after her original date was canceled. When Madonna showed interest in him, she asked Perez to set them up. Their romance remained private until 2015, when Madonna confirmed it during an interview on The Howard Stern Show. She said Tupac influenced her outlook on life and made her feel very gangster, even affecting how she presented herself in the media. An interesting part of their relationship was the 5-year age difference. Madonna was in her mid-30s and already a superstar, while Tupac was in his late 20s and still rising in fame. This dynamic made their romance even more intriguing. However, their relationship faced challenges due to societal and racial pressures. In a 1995 letter Tupac wrote from prison, he explained that he ended things partly because he worried an interracial relationship might hurt his image in the black community. He feared it could alienate his core audience while boosting Madonna's reputation. The letter also showed his personal growth as he apologized and gave her advice on handling fame. Liam Payne and Cheryl Cole. Liam Payne and Cheryl Cole first met in 2008 when Liam, then 14, auditioned for The X Factor. Cheryl, who was 25 and a judge on the show, called him cute and liked his confidence. Though Liam was eliminated, Simon Cowell encouraged him to return in 2 years. This led to him joining One Direction in 2010, a boy band that became a global sensation. Their romance began years later in 2016 when Liam was 23 and Cheryl was 33. By then, Cheryl was already a famous pop star with Girls Aloud and a successful solo career. She had also been through 2 divorces, first with footballer Ashley Cole and then with French restaurateur Jean-Bernard Fernandez Versini. Their relationship made headlines partly because of their 10-year age gap. Despite the media attention, they seemed happy together. In March 2017, they had a son, Bear Gray Payne, which Liam called one of his best moments in life. Liam's career kept growing. After One Direction took a break in 2016, he launched a solo career, working with artists like Rita Ora and Quavo. Cheryl also stayed in the spotlight, continuing her solo music career and appearing as a judge on The X Factor. Interestingly, Liam had admired Cheryl long before they dated. He once called her his dream girl, a feeling he carried from his teens. Their relationship was filled with love and public support, but in mid-2018, they broke up. They said they had differences, but were focused on co-parenting Bear. Liam has since praised Cheryl as an amazing mother, and they remain close friends. Benji Madden and Cameron Diaz. Benji Madden and Cameron Diaz met through Madden's twin brother, Joel, and his wife, Nicole Richie, who are close friends of Diaz. Though they had been in the same social circles for years, Diaz truly noticed Benji at a barbecue at her house in May 2014. She later said she wondered why she hadn't seen him before, describing their connection as instant. Their relationship moved quickly, and after just 7 months of dating, Madden proposed in December 2014 with her family's blessing. A few weeks later, they married in an intimate ceremony at Diaz's Beverly Hills home. Cameron Diaz is one of Hollywood's most famous actresses, known for movies like The Mask, Charlie's Angels, and The Holiday. She was praised for her ability to switch between comedy and drama. In 2014, she stepped away from acting to focus on her personal life and later co-founded Avaline, a clean wine brand. Benji Madden is a musician best known for Good Charlotte, a pop-punk band that became famous in the early 2000s with hits like Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. He later expanded into music production and artwork. Their marriage is built on love, family, and privacy. They welcomed their daughter Radix via surrogacy in December 2019. In March 2024, they announced the birth of their son, Cardinal. Diaz has called motherhood the best part of her life and praised Madden as a wonderful father. Despite their different careers, Diaz in acting and Madden in music, their relationship is strong because of shared values. Madden often posts loving messages about Diaz, and she has credited him with teaching her to value herself more and prioritize their marriage. Johnny Cash and June Carter. Johnny Cash and June Carter met in 1956 backstage at the Grand Ole Opry. Both were married at the time, Cash to Vivian Liberto and Carter to Carl Smith, later Edwin Rip Nix. June was 8 years older than Johnny, but they shared a strong bond through their love of music. June was already famous as part of the Carter family, a well-known country music group led by her mother, Maybelle Carter. She was a talented singer, songwriter, and actress. Cash admired her deeply and often called her his inspiration. In the early 1960s, June joined Cash on tour as a backup singer and duet partner. Their chemistry was undeniable, leading to hit songs like Jackson and If I Were a Carpenter. June also co-wrote Ring of Fire, inspired by her struggle with falling in love with Cash despite their complicated situation. The song became one of his biggest hits in 1963. At the time, Cash was struggling with substance addiction, which strained his marriage. His wife, Vivian, later said that infidelity and addiction led to their divorce in 1966. Through it all, June stood by Cash and helped him recover. Cash proposed to June several times before she finally accepted during a concert in London, Ontario in 1968. They married on March 1, 1968, blending their families from previous marriages and later welcoming their only child together, John Carter Cash. Together, they won Grammy Awards and achieved great success, but their marriage had challenges, including money troubles and lingering addiction struggles. They remained devoted to each other. June passed away on May 15, 2003, after heart surgery. Heartbroken, Johnny died just 4 months later. Their love story lives on through their music and the movie Walk the Line, Vanilla Ice and Madonna. Vanilla Ice, whose real name is Rob Van Winkle, was in his early 20s when he dated Madonna, who was in her early 30s. One of the most surprising parts of their relationship was that Madonna reportedly proposed to him. Vanilla Ice later said he was shocked by the proposal because he felt things were moving too fast and he was too young for marriage. This showed how quickly their romance developed, which is common in celebrity relationships. Madonna, known for being bold and unconventional, didn't follow traditional rules, even in her love life. At the time, Madonna was already a superstar with hit albums like a Virgin and True Blue. She was famous for her provocative performances and had a huge influence on pop culture. Vanilla Ice, on the other hand, was at the peak of his career with his hit song, Ice Ice Baby, the first rap single to top the Billboard charts. However, he later struggled to keep up his music career. Their relationship ended in 1992 after Madonna released a controversial coffee table book. Vanilla Ice claimed he was included without his permission, which caused a rift. Despite their breakup, he has spoken highly of her, calling her a legend. Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes. Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes met in 2011 while filming The Place Beyond the Pines, where they played a couple with a newborn. Their on-screen chemistry quickly turned into a real relationship. Since then, they have built a family and focused on raising their daughters together. Mendes, who is 7 years older than Gosling, has said their relationship changed her view on family and career. Gosling has also credited her for inspiring him to start a family. Before meeting Gosling, Mendes was a well-known actress who had roles in Hitch, 2005, and The Other Guys, 2010. However, she stepped away from acting after becoming a mother, saying it was an easy choice to focus on her children. Meanwhile, Gosling, known mainly for acting, also has a music career. He first showed his musical talent as a child on the Mickey Mouse Club, performing with stars like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears. In 2007, Gosling formed the indie band Dead Man's Bones with Zach Shields. Their debut album in 2009 featured eerie, atmospheric songs and was praised for its creativity. The band toured with children's choirs, but they haven't released new music since. Gosling's musical skills later shown in La La Land, 2016, where he sang and played piano, earning an Oscar nomination. More recently, his song I'm Just Ken from Barbie, 2023, became a viral hit and was nominated for Best Original Song. Despite their fame, Mendes and Gosling keep their lives private. They rarely appear together publicly and moved away from Los Angeles to give their daughters a normal upbringing. They confirmed their marriage in 2022, marking one of the few times Mendes spoke about their relationship. Michael Bublé and Emily Blunt. Michael Bublé, met Emily Blunt at the Logie Awards in Australia in 2005, and they quickly hit it off. At the time, Bublé was becoming a big name in music, especially after his album It's Time, 2005, gained international success. One of his hit songs, Home, was inspired by his experiences and emotions during their relationship. Blunt even sang background vocals on some of his songs, like Me and Mrs. Jones. Bublé later admitted that he wrote everything for Blunt, showing how much she influenced his music. Blunt was also on the rise in Hollywood. Her breakthrough came with The Devil Wears Prada, 2006, and she soon became one of the most in-demand actresses. During her time with Bublé, her career took off, landing her major roles like The Young Victoria, 2009. Despite their busy lives, they often spoke highly of each other. Bublé called Blunt a wonderful person who brought positivity into his life. However, fame and long distance made things tough. By 2008, they decided to go their separate ways. Bublé later said the breakup was painful and inspired his song Lost. Even though their romance ended, both went on to have hugely successful careers. Blunt married actor John Krasinski in 2010 and became a top Hollywood star with films like Edge of Tomorrow and A Quiet Place. Bublé continued his rise in music, releasing hit albums like Crazy Love, 2009, and Christmas, 2011, making him one of the biggest jazz pop artists of his time. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde. Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde met in September 2020 when he joined her film, Don't Worry Darling. Wilde, who directed and acted in the movie, was excited to cast him, praising his confidence and modern take on masculinity. As they worked together, they became close, and their relationship grew during filming. Styles' music career has been nothing short of incredible. After rising to fame with One Direction, he went solo and quickly proved his talent. His first album, Harry Styles, 2017, featured the hit Sign of the Times. His second, Fine Line, 2019, was even bigger, with Watermelon Sugar winning a Grammy. In 2022, Harry's House broke records, and as it was became the longest-running #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 by a UK artist. Wilde also built a strong career. Known for Tron, Legacy, she earned respect as a filmmaker with Booksmart. But her relationship with Styles brought intense media attention, especially rumors about her split from ex-fiancé Jason Sudeikis. She denied leaving him for Styles, saying they had already broken up. In 2021, Wilde and Styles grew closer, but media pressure took a toll. They split in late 2022, but remained on good terms. Styles continues to thrive in music and fashion, while Wilde focuses on filmmaking and family. Heidi Klum and Tom Collins. Heidi Klum and Tom Collins have a love story that stands out, especially with their 16-year age gap. They first met at a friend's party in February 2018. Klum was immediately interested in Collins, but felt too shy to make eye contact. They soon started dating and appeared together in public for the first time at the Cannes Amphar Gala in May 2018. Their relationship moved fast, with Collins proposing in December 2018 in a surprise moment involving Klum's children. They secretly married in February 2019, then had a big wedding on a yacht in Capri that summer. Klum is a famous supermodel and TV personality. She was a Victoria's Secret angel and appeared on many magazine covers. She also became a successful host and producer on Project Runway and America's Got Talent, staying in the spotlight for years. Collins is the guitarist for the German rock band Tokyo Hotel, which he co-founded with his twin brother Bill. The band gained worldwide fame with songs like Monsoon and Automatic. Even with their busy careers, they make family a priority. Klum has 4 children from her previous marriage to Seal, and Collins has become a loving stepfather. Her children even helped plan his proposal, showing their strong bond. Klum says Collins helps her enjoy life more now that her kids are older. John Lennon and Yoko Ono. John Lennon and Yoko Ono had one of the most famous relationships in pop culture. They met in 1966 at Ono's art exhibit in London. Lennon was still married to Cynthia Powell, but he was drawn to Ono's unique style. She was already a respected artist known for experimental and conceptual work focused on human connection and social change. They started as creative partners, but their relationship soon turned romantic. In 1968, Lennon divorced Powell. Ono influenced Lennon's music, pushing him toward more personal projects. In 1968, they released Unfinished Music No. 1, Two Virgins, an experimental album with a nude cover that shocked many. They married on March 20th, 1969, in Gibraltar, and turned their honeymoon into a protest against the Vietnam War with their Bed-ins for Peace in Amsterdam and Montreal. Lennon later sang about their love and activism in The Ballad of John and Yoko. After the Beatles broke up in 1970, Ono's influence on Lennon grew. She co-wrote several songs, and her ideas helped shape Imagine. He called her his biggest artistic inspiration. Meanwhile, Ono continued her work as an artist and activist. Their relationship had struggles. In 1973, they separated briefly when Lennon had an affair, but they reunited in 1975 and had a son, Sean. Their time together ended tragically when Lennon was shot on December 8, 1980. Since then, Ono has continued her art and honored his legacy. Johnny McDade and Courtney Cox. Johnny McDade and Courtney Cox started dating in late 2013 after being introduced by their mutual friend, Ed Sheeran. Despite Cox being 12 years older, they have built a strong and lasting relationship. McDade has had a successful music career. As a member of Snow Patrol, he helped create hits like Chasing Cars, a song loved worldwide. He also co-wrote Ed Sheeran's Photograph and Shape of You, one of the most streamed songs ever. His talent goes beyond songwriting, as he has worked with artists like Taylor Swift and Robbie Williams and produced albums for Birdie and Foy Vance. His ability to adapt across genres while staying true to his style has kept him at the top of the industry. Cox's career has also been impressive. She became a household name playing Monica Geller on Friends, a role that made her one of TV's most beloved actresses. After Friends, she moved into directing and producing, showing her versatility in entertainment. She produced and starred in Cougar Town, proving her skills beyond acting. Their careers often connect. McDade's songwriting is inspired by personal experience, which may include his life with Cox. She has also spoken highly of his musical talent, showing how their creative worlds blend beautifully. Paul McCartney and Dorothy. Paul McCartney had a notable relationship with Dorothy Rohn, who was older than him. They met in 1959 at the Casbah Coffee Club in Liverpool when McCartney was 17. They dated for 3 years, during which McCartney influenced Rohn's style, encouraging her to look like Brigitte Bardot, whom he admired. This relationship showed his youthful ideas about romance and his preference for elegance. At that time, McCartney was still building his music career. The Beatles were performing in small clubs in Liverpool and Hamburg, working hard before becoming famous. Even while touring, McCartney stayed in touch with Rohn through letters and gifts like a gold ring and a leather skirt. Some of his early songs, like Love of the Loved and P.S. I Love You, were likely inspired by her. Rohn supported McCartney during the Beatles' early struggles. Their relationship ended in 1962 after she had a miscarriage. McCartney, focused on his growing career, was not ready to settle down. As the Beatles rose to fame, McCartney became one of history's greatest musicians. Rohn later moved to Canada and lived a private life, but she remained an important part of his early years. Which of these stars' relationships with older women do you find most interesting? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.